Hello, it's Terry Murphy with this edition of Young Artists Workshop. This time around, we are going to do agamographs. Now, I've seen this art form before, but never knew it was called agamographs. And what it is a picture that is two-sided. If you look at it from one direction, it's one picture, and walk around and it becomes another picture. You may have received a kit from a library that is rather a starter kit, and what is enclosed is a pre-folded canvas, so to speak, and then two pieces of paper where you can draw your two separate pieces of artwork. But even if you didn't receive this kit, I'll give you instructions on how to make your own in this demonstration. So stay tuned and let's have fun with agamographs. Before we start this project, know you are free to choose any type of artwork to render that you wish. Here we see a very simple drawing of the sun and the moon in the night sky. And now an animal. Also, if you would like to look up reference material before you start drawing, that may be a good idea. Or what about a graphically rendered piece? One side in color and one side in black and white. Now, let's go see how to make an agamograph. To start with, I have ledger paper here that measures 11 by 17, and I made a small rectangle within it, and each of these segments are 1 inch wide. This is going to be our accordion folded canvas, so to speak. And if you look closely, they are numbered or marked in two different ways. First with numbers and every other segment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 8. And then with the alphabet, A, B, C, D, and all the way up to H. And here you see two other pieces of paper with a similar size of segments. These are all marked A to H, and they're also 1 inch wide. And here's the same thing marked from 1 to 8. And this is where you're going to be doing your artwork. You're going to be doing two different kinds of art. One on this one, another on that one, and then we'll be cutting the strips along the lines and gluing them down here. So all the numbered strips will go on the numbered segments, and all the alphabetical strips will go on the alphabetical ones. And those are the directions, but I know it always makes more sense when you can actually see the demonstration in action. So here is two drawings that I did. You can actually do any kind of drawing you want. You can do a seasonal one. I chose a tree here. Or you can just do any type of picture, anything from like a smiley face to a frowny face, or a picture of an animal, or a landscape. But here I drew an autumn picture of a tree with apples and leaves falling and a little bunny rabbit. And here is the next picture of a tree in winter with snow and birds on the branches and the little rabbit running away. So let's see what that looks like when I add color. You can add color with markers if you want, or colored pencil works well too. So let's see what this will turn out into. My thought now with the color was to just outline with colored pencil the two scenes. This one being the autumn scene. So apples, falling leaves. My plan is to make it very colorful as opposed to this one, which is the winter scene, same tree. I don't think I'll add too much more color than what you see here. So right now it's colored pencil. I might add some marker. So let's see what happens. I thought I'd take a little time to do a little marker demo. Nothing too complicated, but I'm using these markers that I got as a gift from a relative of mine. They're called Stampin' Blends. And I decided to use both a marker and colored pencil for this. So these are nice because they have a brush feature, and then on the other end they have a fine line marker feature. So I'll just continue with what I have been doing, which is putting this color into the background of the fall scene. And we just go very slowly, but not too carefully, by turning your wrist or turning your hand so you can get the fine point in where it needs to go. Especially like right here. You can slow down a bit. There we go. Or we could always use the other side if we wanted to get into the very tight corners. But for the most part, I use this side. And here's the final color, the fall one and the winter one. And I think it's going to look very nice when we cut them into strips and lay them down, only because the colors will be, you know, the greenish, the purple, the greenish, the purple. So let's start with that next. So here we have our paper that we're going to be accordion folding, and then we have our two pictures that we've done that we will cut in strips a little later. First we have to fold this, and if you have a kit, a pre-made kit that you got from the library, this has already been done for you. But if you want to do another or start this first one yourself, that's fine too. So what I'm going to do here is score this so it folds on these lines perfectly. And by scoring, I mean what we're going to do is apply pressure with this coin right on the line so it folds easily. And so the way that we're going to do that is we're going to put a little piece of felt underneath it to cushion it. And then line up a straight edge or a ruler right on that line. Take the quarter, the side, you're going to press down and just Just have to do it once with a little bit of pressure, and you'll be able to feel that with your finger. And just to show you, it just folds. It's going to fold very easily where you made that score perfectly. And that's important because we want these 1-inch squares to lay exactly on these 1-inch segments. So I'm going to go ahead and score the entire thing, fold it up like an accordion, and we'll be back to cut the strips. Alright, here we have the accordion folded piece of paper, and that turned out very nicely, and as you can see, it can also stand up on its own. So we decide now which is going to be the paper we look at from this side, which I decided it was going to be this fall picture. So it'll all be my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strips, and then this will be the picture we see from this side, and that'll be the alphabet strips, A, B, C, D. So we just start cutting. And just very slowly and carefully cut across these lines. As perfectly as you can, because if you remember, you're supposed to line them up in the accordion. And hopefully they will fit. But the more precise you can be, the better. Alright, always good to have some kind of protectant on your table, like newspaper or a piece of cardboard. And all we're going to do is glue this entire strip. And then we're going to be putting it on section 1. And, you know, while it's still a little moist, you can reposition it. Okay, now the next section, we're going to skip one of the 1-inch sections, because remember, we're just laying this down on the numbered sections right now. So this goes on number 2. And you can see me just trying to position it while the glue is still wet. So we'll just keep going till we have all the sections done. And here we have the completed agamograph. It goes from fall
the winter.
Well, I hope you enjoyed Agamograph art and try some projects on your own. Remember, it could be anything you want it to be. Nature, or you can try a two-sided face, or even an abstract design. Just have fun with it and create 2 pictures in 1. If you would like to show us your artwork that you did, please send it to the library at this address, and we will post it on our social media. We'll see you at another workshop soon, I hope. From Terry Murphy and Young Artists Workshop, be creative.